it is, record. Okay, so awesome. Then later on you will be able to see everything we went through. Okay, so here is our
Brilliant.
software. You are already familiar with this one. And since you are working in XLS files, that's good because that way you will be able to import everything from XLS spreadsheets down into the software. Your 4 shops that you have in Greece can be opened as warehouses. So here in the administration, you pick the warehouses list, and then you will add your own warehouses. I will just add a new one and I will call it Greek warehouse. Okay. Warehouse. Okay, this is the tax location of the warehouse. This is the inventory costing method, which can be either the weighted average or first in, first out. You have to set up this when you don't have the inventory in stock. Once you have it in stock, you cannot swap these two around. This is the minimum stock quantity if you want to copy it from the previous warehouse, but you can just deal with it on the item level, so it will be easy. This is the address of the warehouse. Since everything that you purchase or sell will have, like, this is the company address and this is the warehouse address. So if you want those two to be different information, you need to fill out the address of the warehouse as well. Okay, save it. Now, if you did not delete the database in your own demo, or when you open a new trial now, you will do that by going to administration, database backup, and here you have clean database. This will clean everything that we input as a dummy data within the system, so you can start adding your own products, services, warehouses, etc., etc. So this button will clean, this will clean everything. Okay, now input of the products. You go to inventory, products and services, and on the right side you have import data button. Then you go to products, because this is buy and sell, you have to go for a standard product. This is all about the inventory management, right? So go to import product and you will get this kind of spreadsheet. Now the importing is quite easy. You copy entire column from the XLS file and paste it here, and do that for all the matching columns you have, and nothing is mandatory except the SKU and the description. Those two are mandatory because you cannot import anything unless you have a stock keeping unit. If you don't have it, if you go by description, the system will assign its own. Okay, and the SKU is the same for all products. So whether it is in my Greek warehouse, Cyprus warehouse, whatever warehouse I have, it will have the same SKU. The SKU is unique all across. What I like to advise to clients is to also import the selling price, your beginning inventory. Now, the beginning inventory upon the very first import, you can do like for the first warehouse for the entire inventory, and then to distribute the quantities further, or do that through the stock adjustment. So let's say that you are now importing, since everything goes automatically in the first listed warehouse. So my first initial import would go to my main warehouse. So which one you put here first, it will go as an initial import into that one, like the beginning inventory. Okay, so let's say I put here the SKU AAA, and my description is, I don't know, ring A, since you are selling women's jewelry and clothing and stuff like that. And let's say that the selling price is 20, and my beginning inventory is 5 pieces, my stock price, and my purchase price. Now, stock price is by default your average purchase price. Like if you buy it all from the Greek designers all the time by the same price, it will be always the same stock price, right? If the price varies, it will average down. So if you have your stock price, it would be good to import it along with the beginning inventory. So let's say that if I sell it by 20, let's say that I buy it for 15, and this is my ring supplier, and my purchase price is also 15 here. Okay, so now when I save this, it will back it up. Okay, process, good. This is my inventory, products and services. This is the same list. So if I search here for my ring, okay, there it is, ring A, 5 pieces in stock. My selling price is 20. And because we inputted the stock price into that column, we have the stock price here. If you skip that, the price will be 0. And then you will get wrong reports when you run like your monthly revenue and stuff like that. You will get wrong reports if you don't have the stock price at the very beginning set.
Right.
Now, if I take a look here on my on-hand inventory, I have 5 pieces in my main warehouse. But what if of those 5 pieces, 3 were in my Greek warehouse? I will go to my inventory and you go to transfers. You create a new one and you pick your main warehouse and your destination one. You pick your items, ring A, and you say my 3 pieces are in the Greek warehouse, right? Save it. And you have to pack it. Oh, sorry, I have to approve it first. Okay, pack it. There it is. 3 pieces. Post the document. Okay, save it. And then you have to go through the ship and receive, because you can like ship it from one warehouse and then the second person can go into the receiving document and receive it.
All right.
If you do that, but you don't, this is just like for the very first setup. Now, if we go to our product A, I have to just refresh it. Okay, if I open my SKU, I will see that 2 of them are in my main warehouse and 3 of them in my Greek warehouse. See, so this is how you distribute them. Other way would be by going to your inventory and you are doing your stock adjustment and you're creating new beginning inventory. In this case, you are picking your warehouse. Let's say my second warehouse, this one does not have the ring. This is how you distribute the same items across different warehouses. And let's say I have 6 pieces in my second warehouse. And here you again need to add the stock price. There it is. Save it. And you update the beginning inventory. God damn it, you have to approve it first. I hate this option, really. I mean, I know that it's super cool for people who do want that kind of authorization for everything to be approved by admin, but like it really slows me down. Okay, so everything now is here. By the way, that option is you have the ability to turn it off, but I always forget to turn it off. So, you know, I go through the whole process. Okay, now everything is completed. And now for the third time, we are going into our ring. There it is, on hand 11. And we have 2 in our main warehouse, 6 in my second warehouse, and 3 of them in the Greek warehouse. These are the whole quantities that we have.
Excellent.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Sorry?
Yeah, it makes sense how it works. So I think probably for the beginning, it makes more sense to, when we upload or import the products, to actually do it by shop rather than doing it all to the main one and then started doing all the transfers.
Yes, that's also the way. So first, since you have Shopify, I will send you 2 blogs. One is how to integrate your web shop in the right way and which advices you should follow from our development team. And the second one is the Shopify integration itself. Since there are like multiple cases, you have a web shop, you don't have an ERP, you have an ERP, you don't have the web shop. And the second one is like, I have Erpag, I have Webshop, what do I do with 2 of them? So those are 3 different cases. Everything is explained in detail. It will really, really be helpful. Long story short, it's integrated really easy. You go to your sales and your web shops, you go to add new and your Shopify. From the Shopify, you will pick your warehouse. If you have more of them, upon saving the web shop, it will show up here. Now, this is what you have to copy paste: your API settings, which are the key, the password, and the URL to your address, to your website. Yes, here is the conflict resolver. This means like what will be valid. It's explained in the Shopify as well, whether the valid things will be what you have in Erpag or what you have in Webshop, regarding the product and its description, unit of measure, or regarding the price. Because some people like to add new products to the Webshop and then sync it to Erpag. In that case, Webshop needs to win. In the second case, they put items into Erpag and they send it to the web shop. In that case, Erpag should be the one that wins. Okay.
Yes, got it. Yeah.
Upon saving this, you will get here in the inventory and products and services, you will also here the button which will be the synchronization. Once you click on it, the system will pull down each SKU that you have in your Shopify. So everything will be synced down. So if you have the same SKUs in your web shop and in your real retail shops all over the Greece, it will be good because you don't have to do any manual entry, right? Everything will be synced down. Now, what we don't sync from Shopify or any other shop is the quantity, because Erpag is the one who manages the inventory. So if you can export file which you have like the SKU and the quantity, that's good. First, you sync the product, and then you import through the stock adjustment and that beginning inventory file for the each warehouse. This is where you will upload the beginning inventory from the TextLS file, since we don't sync down the quantities on hand.
Right.
Okay, so the other way would be your manual entry. So you go to add new, you pick a product, and then you edit the description, like let's say this will be my bracelet. Okay, and then you pick your product category, which will be your tax category. The taxes are set up here under sales and taxes. The tax category is assigned to your product. The tax location is assigned to your customer. So let's say that if I put my necklace to have a default tax category and I sell it to somebody from Los Angeles, it will automatically pull the tax rate of 9%. So this crisscrosses how you set it up. So that's the important thing. Tax category, product, tax location, customers. That's the whole point about it. Like, people make really big fuzz regarding this, but it's really not that hard to connect it. Product category, awesome if you want to run reports like, oh, how much of a jewelry I have, how much of the bags, the hats, bracelets, etc. I can have. So if I put here my product category as, is this a bracelet? Bracelet. And I have many bracelets and all of them will be under the same product category. I can run the report to see how much of the same product category I have in stock. The trademark is if you have different brandings, like for your designers, like if you wanted them to know which the designer it is, or also if you want to run a report based on the different designer. Search scope, for now we can skip it, but when we do the manufacturing, we will go through that briefly, since you're not really into that much, but we will pass it over. This will be helpful then in the manufacturing. Shelf is also good when you have the product picking, but this is more for like transferring and stuff like that, rather than, because it's like for the big warehouse management, you know, when you need to know where do you pick your items from. Now, I've been in Greece, I've bought a loads of the souvenirs, and it's not like that she has to see on which shelf it is. You just go there and pick it and you go to the register, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So there is no point for it to be a shelf, but of course, why not use it if you want it. We can put here like jewelry. Okay, we can put that as a shelf, and then we know that it's always on that shelf. Serial number tracking, I doubt that you will use this, but I have to acknowledge it. Each product can be tracked by a serial number or lot number. Serial number, individual tracking, each product has a specific serial number. So if you have 100 bracelets, each one of them will have a serial number. So yeah, for your business, not so good. The lot number is the batch number. It has the expiry date. Like when you buy a milk and you take a look and see that it will expire in 10 days. So this is what the lot numbers are for. Your selling price. Your selling price is the price which you charge your customers. So let's say that if I have my bracelet here of, I don't know, $30, and this is your fulfillment. Now, this is the important part. Your fulfillment here is where do you get your items from. Now, if you have a single supplier, like a Greek designer, I will click add him. By the way, you can also import the customers and suppliers through the XLS file as well. By going to administration, you have everything here. What are you importing? Services, products, customers, suppliers, everything is here. So you don't have, but I'm just quick adding this one for the presentation's sake. Okay, this is the purchase price, which will be in our case 24.99. This is the SKU of the supplier if I want his SKU to show up on the purchase order. So whenever I buy my SKU 34 on the purchase order, it will say like Greek designer and let's say my SKU, which is 34. Shipping days, this is good for you to know when will your goods arrive to your stock. So if I put here 5, it will automatically push the expected days in 5 days. Minimum order quantity, this is used if your designer has a minimum order quantity. If you want to like buy 1 piece, but he's like, sorry buddy, but all my pieces come in the box of 5, so you always have to buy 5. This is what that option is used. Minimum stock quantity is good when you want to set up a certain minimum, and then the system will notify you when your items are below that minimum. You can set it up for each and one warehouse you want to have. So if I put it 2 for my main warehouse and 3 for my Greek warehouse, when it drops below the minimum, it will show up on the fulfillment list. I have here 0, so once I save it, we will go to the fulfillment list to show you how the procurement works. Product images, you can upload the product image. However, when you sync from your Shopify, it will automatically appear here. Barcode, second unit of measure. This is if you use labels on your products to scan in the labels rather than searching for the product manually. Additional info is if you want to put like the country of origin, net weight of the product, etc. And custom fields are for everything that we don't have mentioned up. So those are literally custom fields. Everything that we don't have here, the spot for you to enter the information, you can use the custom field for that. Okay, so this would be the manual entry. Is this okay? Like, do you understand this part?
That's very clear. Just a quick question. All those attributes or fields that you're showing me, I guess they are there by default. If we wanted to add or remove something, is this something which is customizable, or the tool or the application comes as we see it right now?
The application comes as you see it right now, but you can customize the view. You cannot turn them on and off. They have to be here. But if you click here on the customization, you can push up and down which fields are mandatory for you. Like you can switch the product category section to be all the way down. You don't want to see that, but you want to see the picture, so you will push it up. So once you save it, see, my product category went all the way down, and my attachment, it appears in the edit, is now all the way up. So you can only customize the view here.
And how can you specify something is mandatory or not? Is it something that it's customizable from the setting?
No. Nothing is mandatory to have except the SKU, for example. Yes, because if I don't add the SKU here and I want to save it, it will tell me it's a required field. You need to have the SKU. So that one is, but the other things will come out as helpful if you don't have them. For example, like this, if I put my fulfillment to be from multiple suppliers, that means that I can choose whether I want to buy this from my Greek supplier or from my Cyprus run, right? And let's say that I'm buying it by 27 this time. Okay, save it. Okay, no, let's delete this. Delete this price, just for you to see why it's helpful to have a purchase price. So we set up here the minimum stock quantity for our product to be 2 in the main warehouse and 3 in the Greek one, right? So since I have 0 here, that means that it's already below the minimum. Now our beautiful fulfillment list. Your fulfillment list is your third order list. So whether you don't have the quantity to fulfill the sales order, whether you, when you sync it down from your web shop, because what you have on hand in the retail shop, you sell it, right? Or it's below the minimum, it will show up here on your fulfillment list. This is the procurement list. Now, since I've put both bracelets to be on the multiple supplier fulfillment, I can search here. I can choose from whom will I order this. Now, I did put a purchase price on the Greek designer, but not on the Cyprus one. So if I pick the Cyprus one and save it, and now I want to generate a purchase order through this, like in order to, the fulfillment list is for people to like forbid you for ordering way too much. This just orders what you need to fulfill your stock or the order. And now when I want to generate a purchase order, there it is. You cannot because you don't have the purchase price.
Right.
See? That's why it is better to have it defined on the item level. So I will open it and I will create the purchase price here. Okay, and I will save it. Okay, so I just need to refresh this. So let's say that I'm buying from the Cyprus one for this warehouse, but for my Greek warehouse, I'm buying from the Greek designer. So I will check both of these in order to fulfill both minimum stocks. Bulk action and purchase orders. It will run and tell you whether it is successful or you have an error. Okay, so now we are clear, and this lands automatically in our purchase order window. There it is. See, we have two different purchase orders for two different warehouses. Now, when you open it, it's just entered. This is not in your stock yet. So even if I go to sell my bracelet, I can't. I don't have it in stock. So once you receive it, once you first approve it, and now when you receive it to your stock, there it is, two pieces, post the document. The system will tell you that it's received. There it is, goods received notice formed. And from here, you just need to register the invoice from your supplier by entering the reference number. That's usually on the supplier invoice, and then registering the payment as well. Unless you do it through Stripe. Stripe is more for like for receiving payments than applying it to the customers, right? So you can only maybe put here the bank account as a Stripe, and then when you register a payment, since you are doing that through Stripe in that case, you can from the drop down just choose the Stripe as the payment method. While in the invoices, let's just receive this one. Okay, so, oh my God, I need to approve it. Approved. Okay, so you can also receive it in pieces, like one by one. I can receive one today and post the document. In that case, the system will tell me that I have partially received and I have only one received in stock. So tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, whenever he delivers me the rest of it, the system will just offer you the rest of the quantity. You don't have to go through to recalculate on your own how much did you get and how much did its rest. And yes, I failed to mention that each document can be sent through the Erpag system if you set up the mail account. Now, Zoom just notified me that we have 10 minutes of our meeting, but if I disappear all of a sudden, that's because the Zoom link ended and I will send you the second one, okay?
Okay, sure.
I did not just disappear without saying goodbye. Okay, so that's the purchase order. And now when we go to our inventory, products and services, and we search for our bracelet, we will see there it is, 5 pieces in stock, out of which 2 of them are in our main warehouse and 3 of them are in our Greek warehouse. Now, the products and services list is your whole list. Like, as you can see here, you cannot see the quantities distributed according to the warehouses unless you enter the very product, right? But if you want to check that, you go to your inventory and your inventory stock list. In this list, when you search for your bracelet, you will see the quantities based on the warehouses. So this is broken down
Yes.
into the warehouses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now let's sell something. If you are manually entering the sale, that means that you have to go to create a sales order. You pick your warehouse, whether it is main warehouse, second warehouse, or Greek warehouse. You pick your customer, and then you pick your item. Let's say we will take our bracelet and we will take one of our rings. Okay, there it is. We have one of each. Save it. The system will tell you whether you have quantity once you approve it. There it is, available quantity. By the way, that damn thing is set up under administration and localization, and here you have the document validation. See, everything rhymes, so it's easy to remember. So this is like if you want the admin to actually approve every document before you can do anything with it. I copied this database from somebody and I cleared it up, but the settings is still here. Okay, so the system tells you that you have the available quantity, then you pack this, post it, and from here you will invoice it, ship it, etc. Now, under administration and Stripe, this is where you're defining your Stripe account. It's in our user manual. I will send you the link. It's really easy to connect. When you print out either a sales order or an invoice, the payment link will be there. See, once they click on this link on a PDF file, because it's sent out as a PDF file, they will be led to a page where they need to enter their credit card information in order for this one to be charged through the Stripe. Once this is charged through the Stripe, this will automatically be paid. So you don't have to register the payment of your own. This is one way to make a sale. Okay. The second one is when you have here your Webshop connected, you have here the synchronization button. And then when you click on it, the system will pull down all your sales orders. And it will be like this. So let's say that we have our ring, 2 pieces. But let's say that we want 3. I ordered 3, right, from my main warehouse. And let's say our bracelet, 2 pieces, 1 is okay. Okay. So the system, upon synchronization, will tell you you have available quantity, which means good. You pack it and you're done. You sold it. No quantity, which means that everything needs to be ordered from the supplier, and the partial quantity, which means that something is here, something is not here. In Erpag's case, what's highlighted green is available, and the unhighlighted one is something is missing. So again, when you don't have something in stock, it will be here under purchasing and fulfillment for you to order it. There it is. We need to buy our ring from our ring supplier to satisfy the order. But our bracelet once again dropped below the minimum. See? So it again notifies us. Please fill your orders. Your stock, by the way, not orders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you confirm it. Now I will use a cheat sheet and I will go to here and I will just bulk approve everything. Change status to approved. So I don't have to do it manually in each one. Yay, there it is. Okay, so now we
Right.
need to receive this to our stock. Okay, and here in the purchase order, let me just close it because I did that way too fast. In the purchase order, you can see the committed quantity and you can see where is this committed to, whether it is on a sales order or a transfer document, or maybe also you can see here the priority that can be set on the sales order level. So once we receive this ring store stock, our sales order will automatically get the available quantity, which is good for us, right? We can fulfill our order that is from the web shop. When something is done through the web shop, it will show here as type web shop because there are, of course, there is also the warehouse here, and type is not included, but of course you can include it through this. There it is, type. Okay, so here you can see where the document came from, whether it is the customer portal, standard sales order, that means that it's manual entry, or whether it is the web shop. So this is one way of the sales. And for the retails, what is good to be used is through the point of sale. So you go to your sale. Let's just first actually, sorry for like being all over the place, but I really want to receive these bracelets and fulfill our stock, because we need to have them in stock in order to be able to sell them through the point of sale. Is it so far understandable?
Yes, I get it. It's yeah. This might be a net scenario where you're trying to sell something that you don't have. Probably we wouldn't be facing this situation, but yeah, I get your point and I can follow you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Yes, because you usually sell what you have on hand. Okay, so the third scenario is mostly for the retail shops, and that is point of sale. There it is, new receipt. Now, if you have pictures uploaded of your products and you switch either through the touch or the search, it will be good, because here when you go to the touch version, it actually shows. Here you pick the warehouse. So if I put here my Greek warehouse, I will see here the picture of my bracelet that I'm about to sell. And I can either switch to ENUPC if you want to scan in the barcode, or just select it through here, and it will tell you here. There it is. The quantity is 1. You go to total to issue the receipt. Okay, now you have here your customer. If you don't, like, if it's just like one person who you will never see again, hopefully not. Hopefully it will be a recurring customer. You just leave it as empty. And here on the credit card, you have the stripe. So here, when you click on the stripe, you get that pop-up window for them to enter the credit card information to just charge it. So this is where the stripe also comes in, or you can mail them this receipt on spot. So you will email this through the software. They will receive the email. They would click on that link, and then they will fill in their credit card information. Both of these cases are covered in our user manual, so you will see them as well. So when if this is it, if this girl is just buying one bracelet, I will click on the print and issue her the receipt. Okay. I will cancel it, and there it is. If I go to my sales order, I will see that this one is based on point of sale. So as you can see here, no matter where the sales order comes from, whether it is web shop, manual entry, point of sale, you will be able to actually track it, like from which sales channel it is, and based on which warehouse.
Yes.
Yes. So both your inventory management is covered here. There is no way that you can like run to any kind of issues that something is missing, or that something is sold when it's actually not. Erpag has really good control over the SKUs. That's why the SKUs are mandatory. You cannot sell something if you don't have it in stock. It has to be either ordered or transferred, or this or that. Do you want me to go through the manufacturing, or do you have any questions so far for this?
Just a few questions, and probably I'm not sure if it's worth going through the manufacturing now, because we're not looking of utilizing it straight away.
Oh, it's okay. Then we will skip the manufacturing for something else.